real fast. There we go.
Right, great. So, guys, we happy New Year to everybody. I am back in New Jersey. Um, it was it was nice to be with the kids for a while. Like this is the first time after a long time that I was with them for, we were just me, Vibha, and the kids for 10 days, longer than 10 days actually. So, and we were in a very confined place, so we had them trapped. So it was kind of nice. So I hope you all had an enjoyable uh, time, holiday time. I'm going to share with you my screen, and I'm going to go over with you what some of the things that are required for a loan application. See, I think a lot of times what happens is that people, realtors, they're a little bit reluctant to do anything with loans because they think that there's a lot of work that goes into it. Well, there is a lot of work. But the work is done by the processor. So the processor's role really is to do all of the communication with the borrower, serve as a conduit between the underwriter and and all of and also just almost like a communications hub. So really in the transaction, the main person is really the processor. The loan officer's job really is just um, to uh, to originate the loan. And if you look at the evolution of the industry, the back in the early '80s, there really wasn't, the secondary market wasn't developed. FHA, Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, they weren't really developed. Um, Now, obviously, and back then, 99% of the business used to be done by banks. Credit unions did very little, and then mortgage companies were really just getting started. Now, and once the secondary market really started taking hold, and there was money on the front end, on the origination side, that's where the loan officer came into play. And when I first started, I remember my mentor, Richard Rosenberg, he basically said, "Hey, listen, Raj, go out there. I don't care what you do, just get the application signed, and we'll take care of the rest." So and that's what I did. Um, so it's really, I wanted to go over with you what we've done is because in order to get paid as a loan officer and as a realtor on the same transaction, it's not just a matter of getting licensed. You do have to participate in the transaction. So, in other words, it would be considered a kickback if you just got your license and gave a lead to another loan officer. That's not the way it works. But what we've been able to do is we've created a questionnaire which you'll complete, and then you will send this to the processor. The processor will then do whatever they have to do, make a final call to the borrower, and then send you the application, and then the application will then the application will be sent from the processor to the borrower for signature. So I'm gonna, and then really they may ask you questions from time to time, but really at that point, it's really for the processor to take over. So here is just a simple questionnaire. Um, so you'll see the estimated value or purchase price. You have a lot of this information. That's why I say to people, you know, get your originator license, because there's not a lot to it. You know the down payment, you know the subject property address county, you know what type of property it is, you know the taxes, you know whether it's a primary, secondary investment, the source of down payment, Um, yeah, at some point, whether, is it savings? Is it, usually it's savings or, whatever. And then you have the estimated closing date. So you have all the information here, right? And then if you go here, you look at the next section, which is the borrower information. Um, so this is information that their name, social security number, you're not going to ask them, date of birth, you can ask them. Years of school is 12 years is high school. A 4 year, if they went undergrad, it's 16 years. If they have graduate school, so that's why you explain. Hey, how many years of school do you have? 12.
Raj, we lost you for a sec. There.
Laptop crashed, so I'm on my phone, so I can't share my screen.
Your
Um,
screen's still up, so we can still see it.
well, you can
Can
still
you
see.
see it?
I can't see it.
Oh,
What
okay.
I
We can still see it. It's just on
Yeah.
the terms of loan and the
Well, what I
borrower information.
what I see is this.
Oh, it just
My
went
lap,
off.
my laptop just went off. So
Okay.
so so anyway, the point I wanted to make to everyone is that it's really an easy process to to take a loan application, and it's exponentially easier than the effort that goes into a real estate deal. So there's really there's really no reason for you not to do it. And there's a big push now, right? Like Keller Williams has Keller Mortgage. Gary has been pushing his people to do mortgages on their own transaction. A Real Mortgage, which is called part of Real Brokerage, they're pushing their people to do it. Um, and so without now you might ask, why would you want to do it with us? Because our rates are lower than everybody else, and you can make as much as 3 points in our model, 3%. So in with Keller Williams and with Real, you can only make half a point, half a percent, which so there's a big difference, right? And then plus, you're dealing with I mean, the same, you're dealing with people that are somewhere in Omaha, Nebraska, that don't know. Yeah, literally, their processing is in Omaha, Nebraska. That's where they're processing because Gary Keller couldn't run the mortgage company, so he sold like a percentage of it to Mutual of Omaha, and so now Mutual of Omaha is running Keller Mortgage. I think it's called Keller Mutual of Omaha Mortgage or something like that. But anyway, so your processor is in Omaha. And your loan officer, and anybody that you have, if you have an issue, if you have any, with here, it's just like you call me, right? So, so yeah, so it's really an easy process. I'm going to say that to complete that questionnaire is going to take you a maximum of 5 minutes. So really, there's no reason for you not to do it. And even if you say that, hey, listen, I don't know if I really want to get involved with it, um, but it's still a great credential to have, just like you have some people have the ABR, some people have a CRS. It's nice to have an NMLS license, licensed NMLS, and it's a lot harder to get than a real estate license or a broker license. It's only 24 hours, but I can tell you, like it's 75 hours with the real estate. It's only 24 hours with mortgages, but um, it's really hard. Generally, I would say our pass rate nationally is like less than 20% first time test takers. And if you fail, you got to wait 30 days. If you fail again, if you fail three times, you got to wait a year. And what we've done is we've come out with a question bank where we want what we do is we will it's about 200, I think 200 questions, and you take the test, and we can see which areas you're deficient in. There's, I think, six areas that the testing is based upon for mortgages, and so we give you, you know, the proportionate amount of questions for each section. So let's say New Jersey state law is 17%. 17% of the 200 questions are based upon on law. And I wrote the whole test bank myself with my assistant called ChatGPT. And so anyway, so we designed it really well so that we can see which areas that you're struggling with, and then we can tell you, hey, listen, go back and study this material in more detail. So it's a diagnostics test, so that we can help you in passing it and get you started. So yeah, that's basically it. Rates, as far as current rates go, they've been pretty stable. Um, I know that Trump has said that he is going to lower interest rates. Um, I don't think that, I don't really think that there's any need to, because the economy is still doing well, and inflation is a problem. And in order to contain inflation, so there's an inverse relationship between interest rates and inflation. So um, when inflation goes up, you want interest rates to go up. So in that case, it's proportionate, right? And you want, so let's say inflation is going up, like it is now. If you continue to lower rates, what happens is that inflation is going to continue to rise, right? That's not theoretical. That is it's theoretical. I should say it's not just theoretical. It's theoretical and impractical. It's a law, basically, that if interest rates go down, inflation is going to go up. Um, so so I think that if they were to put pressure on the interest rates to go down, then and when people say that interest rates are going to go down, and if you've noticed, interest rates have gone significantly down over the last several months. um, the rate that has gone down is the interest rate that the government charges banks to borrow money at, right? How do banks make money? Banks, they get their money from their own investors, people that own the bank, right? With the paid in capital. Usually it's a very small amount. And then they get their money, they borrow their money from the government, right? The Federal Home Loan Bank. And then the other way that they get money is they get it from borrowers from the community that they have banks in, right? Deposits. And then they lend that money out. So when their cost of funds, or the money that they get, the money they borrow at or take deposits at, when they say that they're good, that rates are going to go down, that's the rate that's going down. So when that rate comes down, their prime the bank's rates go down, their commercial lending rates go down. Now, mortgage rates are not determined by that action. When the government decreases rates, that they give to banks, that's not decreasing the mortgage rates. What decreases the mortgage rates is the demand for the mortgage-backed securities. And mortgage-backed securities are In their basic long story short is that the government buys mortgage paper. The more they buy, the interest rates go down. The less they buy, the interest rates go up, right? So as the prime rate has been going down, meaning the government has been charging less interest to the banks where they're borrowing money at, the rate that the government is not buying mortgage paper right now. They're just buying enough to keep the rates stable. If they want rates to go down, what they'll do is they'll buy a lot of paper and the rates will it'll a lot of mortgage paper and then that'll drive rates down. So they're being very, very um they know they see what I'm talking about, that if they were to lower mortgage rates, that could create a really bad inflationary situation for us. So as much as people have been saying that the property values have been going up, I mean, they definitely have, right? Property values have definitely been going up, but I don't know if there's been enough transactions in our area anyway, where you can say that, okay, if interest rates did go up a lot, what impact would that have on us? Although interest rates are not going up anytime soon anyway. And if interest rates came down, I'm not sure how much of an impact that would have, because when I say interest rates coming down, I mean the mortgage interest rates. Um, I don't know. It's so wacky now. It's really hard to determine any of these things because up until in the last recession, the way that mortgage rates were determined were based upon the market, because the market, institutional investors would buy more mortgage-backed securities, and that's how rates would go down. When they stopped doing that, that's when the government stepped in, and now the government has complete control over that, right? So it's really this economy it's really hard to say. But I will tell you this also, that as far as opportunities go, you people do mortgage transactions a lot more often than they do real estate purchases. People will refinance their homes. They'll take second mortgages, and you can. It's just another tool or another reason for you to talk to your clients. I think that one of the big differences between me and Gary Keller and a lot of these people that are in the industry, I have never thought of the real estate transaction of having different components, meaning the real estate brokerage transaction is different, the mortgage transaction separate, the title insurance transactions is separate, and technology is separate. I've always thought as all four of those being one piece, so and that it sounds like a simple difference, but see, like if you talk to like any of these other companies, and that's why they haven't been successful at it. Nobody's been successful. They because they look at each thing as a whereas for me, it's always been symbiotic. It's always been one transaction, and I feel that the client, the customer experience is much better if it's looked at that way. If we look at a deal where Keller Williams is representing the buyer seller, Montgomery Mortgage is doing the mortgage. Well, in the future, hopefully that'll be Visionary Mortgage. Visionary Abstract is doing the title, and of course we're doing we're controlling all the technology. So smooth, and the points of failure are really, they're minimized. Um, there's just a lot of reasons why you should get involved. Especially our visionary, of course, all of our agents should get licensed, but especially our visionary abstract stockholders. Um, a lot of them have already, like Cecilia, Wayan, um, Yusuf and his wife. There's several, Usha. Um, I'm sure there's other that I can't come that are not on the tip of my tongue, but there's several of them that are in the process of getting their license. Cecilia Bogard, um, and it's something that you should all consider doing. And you know, I think that it could double your income because you're not just going to get income from the transaction itself, but it's just going to open up more. It's just another way of marketing, another way of it opens up um, a whole door. It's a new door gives you another tool in the toolbox. Um, so that's basically it. So the class is 24 hours. It's Monday through Thursday, 6:30 to 6 to 9:30. Monday through Thursday, and then Saturday from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. and Sunday 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. So that's basically the way that it works. Um, does anybody have any questions for me? And by the way, you do have to be online and you do have to have your camera on. Those are musts. The courses are very strict. It's not like real estate licensing. And pretty much on every course, the NMLS representative does log in on every one of our courses. So, um, anybody have any other questions?
Hey,
No.
Raj, I have a different question though, just out of curiosity.
Yeah.
Ash here.
Yeah.
Are we going to have an agency class? Because see, I completed all my CE way back last year, more than what is required, but my account still shows 1 hour agency class needed to complete my CE. So just out of curiosity, since Jeff is also there.
Yeah, I sent the application in yesterday. Lori, the person that approves these, she's not going to be in until Monday. So the application is in. I did email her the application earlier, but the the course description that I had to put in like some extra things in there that she wanted to see, like amount of time for each topics covered, and then they wanted a PowerPoint presentation. So I created the PowerPoint presentation from the course description Jeff sent me, and then I sent them the $200 check and the application. So I FedExed that yesterday. So, and I emailed it to her yesterday. But she said she wasn't going to be able to look at it until Monday. Now, I did ask her, generally it takes them 3 months to get a course approved, a CE course approved. So I've asked her, we do have a course that's approved for 3 hours for agency. But we don't want people to stand there for 3 hours.
Yeah, I need only 1 hour now because what happened was I
Yeah,
actually
yeah,
completed my
yeah.
CE courses prior to this requirement that came in.
Yeah. So what we're going to do is we'll find out. So, like I said, we don't want people to sit through a 3 hour course. That's why we're trying to get a 1 hour course approved.
Okay.
So we've put it in. Worst comes to worst, it'll take us a couple months to get that approved.
Okay, thanks, Raj.
No problem. Yeah, I saw your question, Alfredo. Yeah, you can do second mortgages, you can do refinances, bridge loans. If you have a seller that needs to do work on their house. I mean, this is a great thing to do, or if they want to keep their house and use the money from their home, refinance it, and buy some other property. I mean, it opens up a whole different avenue, a whole different um, uh, you're going to find people that when they find that say, hey, yeah, I want to get pre-qualified, and once you pre-qualify them, you can say, hey, do you have I can be a realtor too. So that's what I'm saying. It opens up avenues that I think you don't. A lot of you don't see it because it's not something that has been pushed. It hasn't been something that has been um, it really hasn't been talked about to agents. And the reason is because nobody's been able to figure out how to do it. Because again, they're thinking that you can have higher rates and your service doesn't have to be good. And because it's Keller Mortgage, people are going to give you business. Gary Keller found out $200 million later that it doesn't work that way. We still have to have the best rates. We have to have the best service. And I have figured out a way to monetize it. So, and I'm going to do it. So, I encourage you to to get your mortgage license. It is the future. It's just a matter of time whether it takes hold in a year or it takes 5 years, whatever the case is. It's going to happen. So Alfredo, you should take it. The course starts on Monday, and you have three. You get, and then we also give you the entire course on a recorded version of it. So you can watch it on. You do have to take the live course, but if you miss if there's something you don't understand, the whole thing is recorded. And then, like I told you, and we do have that a database of questions, diagnostic tests to make sure that you do pass. All right. Um, these classes are on Zoom. They're all on Zoom. We've got a great instructor. He's been doing it. He's been, in mortgage coaching and instruction for 25 years. His name is Tony. Great guy. And then if you have any, I mean, I personally, because I want people to get their mortgage and work for Visionary Mortgage, I personally I'm happy to help you with any questions you have, with any problems you're having with getting your license. I'm happy to do whatever I can to facilitate that. All right. Any other questions?
Hi, Raj. Good morning. Happy New Year to everyone.
Oh, yes. Hi, Ruby. I know you signed up for it too.
Yes. Yeah. And we'll be starting on Monday.
Good.
Yes. And quick question: do we have any kind of training after with Visionary Mortgage once we get licensed?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And we have a lot of training. I mean, we have an incredible underwriter. I mean, I am telling you, this guy, he is unbelievable. And he does the training. His name is Aditya, and he's got a lot of experience. And he's got 20 years of experience. We have Tony. He has many years of experience. And then, a lot of this is, as when you get a transaction, you kind of learn as you go.
Yeah, cool. Thank you.
Yeah. So no problem. And then we also give you a contact management system, just like you have Command. We have what's called Lendered. It's called Lendered, Lendered. It's a phenomenal contact management system.
Mhm.
Dina, you absolutely should take it again. Please. I think you would do very, very well with this. Please do it. You don't have to pay anything again. Just take the course. Okay? And you should have the course on video. So please, I know you work with a lot of investors. This is something that you should absolutely be doing. 6 to 9:30. All right. Can everybody hear me okay now? Whose iPhone?
I
Yeah,
think
that was when your laptop was
Oh,
going out, I
okay.
think.
Okay, great.
I have a
Uh,
question.
yeah.
How long does that take to like finish?
What's that?
The mortgage course.
Oh, the course is 24 hours. It's on Zoom with a live instructor. It's 6 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. Monday through Thursday. Saturday and Sunday, 9 a.m. 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. on Saturday, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Sunday.
Okay.
All right. Who's this?
Jason.
Oh, Jason. Okay. All right, Jason. Yeah. So we have that. All right. Anybody else have any other questions?
Everyone's good.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Okay, good. Great.
All right.
Well, listen,
Thanks a
thank you
lot,
for your
everyone.
time. Yeah. And please, anybody, if you've paid, don't worry about access time being, I mean, you guys are our associates. You're, when you do your first deal, you're going to get your course fee back. So, I mean, I don't want to give it to you guys for free because if I give you something for free, then you think there's no value to it. So pay for it. And when you close your first transaction, you will get your money back. And I will tell you that once you get your license, you are going to get a deal. So you will get your money back. All right. So please go. I encourage you all to get your license. Okay.
Awesome. Thanks,
All right.
Raj.
All right. Thanks, guys. Take care.
thanks, Raj.
Okay.
Thanks,
No
everyone.
problem.
Have a great one.
Okay. All right.
You
Bye.
too.